What happens when a single phone call unravels a web of prejudice, power, and unexpected truth? On a sweltering July afternoon by Lake Serenity, the calm ripples of the water hid a storm brewing on the shore. My wife, Amara, and I had come to this quiet town seeking a fresh start, but we didn't expect our new beginning to collide head-on with someone else's vendetta. Amara was radiant that day, her laughter echoing as she tossed a frisbee to our dog, Luna, near the lake's edge. Her dark curls bounced in the sunlight, and her joy was infectious. We'd moved to Willow Creek only a week ago, drawn by the promise of a tight-knit community and a slower pace. Amara had just taken on a role that carried more weight than anyone at the lake could have guessed. But to the casual observer, she was just a woman enjoying a day off, her badge and title tucked away in the life we left behind each morning. Across the grassy knoll, Karen stood with her arms crossed, her eyes narrowed behind oversized sunglasses. She was a fixture in Willow Creek, the kind of person who knew everyone's business and made it her mission to enforce her version of order. Her blonde bob was immaculate, her lips pursed as she watched us. I noticed her first, her posture rigid, her phone already in hand. I didn't think much of it, maybe she was texting a friend. But then I saw her dial, her voice sharp as she spoke into the receiver, her gaze locked on Amara. "She's being disruptive," Karen said, loud enough for me to catch the words. "Playing with that dog too close to the water. It's against the rules." I froze. Luna was on a leash, and we were well within the designated pet area. Disruptive? Amara's laughter wasn't loud, and the handful of families nearby were smiling, not complaining. But Karen's tone carried a venom I couldn't ignore. I walked over to Amara, keeping my voice low. "Babe, I think that woman's calling the cops on us." Amara's eyes flicked toward Karen, and a shadow crossed her face, not fear, but something closer to exasperation. "Let her," she said softly, tossing the frisbee again. "She doesn't know who she's dealing with." Minutes later, a police cruiser pulled into the lot, its lights flashing but sirens silent. Two officers stepped out, one a grizzled veteran named Officer Daniels, the other a younger recruit who looked nervous. Karen marched toward them, her voice rising. "That woman over there," she pointed at Amara, "is causing a disturbance. Her dog's running wild, and she's ignoring the rules. You need to do something." I felt my stomach twist. Amara was black, and I was all too aware of how these situations could escalate. We'd faced stares and whispers before, but this was different. Karen's accusation wasn't just about a dog or a frisbite, was laced with something uglier, something unspoken but palpable. I wanted to step in to shield Amara, but she gave me a look that said, "Stay calm. I've got this." The officers approached, and Daniels, the older one, squinted at Amara. "Ma'am, we got a call about a disturbance. Mind telling us what's going on?" His tone was neutral, but his hand rested on his belt, a habit that made my pulse quicken. Amara smiled, calm as the lake itself. "Just playing with my dog, officer. Leash is on and we're in the pet zone. No trouble here." Luna wagged her tail, oblivious to the tension. Daniels nodded, but Karen wasn't done. "She's lying," Karen snapped, stepping closer. "She's been loud and reckless all afternoon. People like her don't belong here if they can't follow rules." The words hung in the air, heavy and sharp. I saw the younger officer flinch, and Daniel's jaw tightened. Amara, though, didn't flinch. She tilted her head, her smile fading into something steely. "People like me?" she repeated, her voice low but cutting. Karen faltered, but only for a moment. "You know what I mean," she huffed. "This is a family place. We have standards." Before Daniels could respond, a third figure emerged from the crowd, a woman in her 60s. Her silver hair pulled back in a bun, her face etched with quiet authority. She wore a sundress, not a uniform, but something about her commanded attention. "Karen," she said, her voice calm but firm, "you're making a scene." Karen spun around, her cheeks flushing. "Eleanor, stay out of this. I'm handling it." Eleanor didn't back down. "You're handling it poorly. I've been watching, and that young woman's done nothing wrong." The crowd murmured, some nodding in agreement. I hadn't noticed Eleanor before, but now I saw her steady, unflappable, like a lighthouse in a storm. Karen's eyes darted between Eleanor and the officers, her confidence wavering. Daniels cleared his throat. "Ma'am," he said to Amara, "can I see some ID? Just to clear this up." I braced myself, but Amara reached into her bag and pulled out a wallet. Instead of a driver's license, she handed him a badge. The air seemed to shift. Daniel's eyes widened as he read it. "Chief Amara Thompson," he said, almost to himself. The younger officer's jaw dropped, and Karen's face went pale. "You're the new police chief?" Amara nodded, her expression unreadable. "Started last week. I was hoping to enjoy a day off before diving into the job, but it seems trouble found me first." The crowd buzzed, whispers spreading like wildfire. Karen stammered, "Two didn't know. I was just trying to keep things orderly." "By assuming the worst?" Amara's voice was calm, but her words cut deep. "You saw me, a black woman, and decided I was a problem before I even opened my mouth. You didn't ask. You didn't talk. You just called the cops." Karen's mouth opened, then closed. Eleanor stepped forward, her eyes soft but piercing. "Karen, you've been doing this for years, jumping to conclusions, throwing your weight around. It's not about order. It's about control." The twist hit me as hard as it hit Karen. Eleanor wasn't just a bystander, she was Karen's mother-in-law, a woman who'd lived in Willow Creek her whole life and seen Karen's patterns up close. Her quiet rebuke carried the weight of years, exposing Karen's prejudice in a way no one else could. The crowd fell silent, and even Daniels looked uncomfortable. "I'm sorry," Karen mumbled, her voice barely audible. But Amara wasn't done. "An apology doesn't erase the harm," she said. "You didn't just call the cops on me, you called them on my husband, on our day together, on our right to exist here without being judged. Next time, think before you dial." Daniels handed Amara's badge back, his face a mix of respect and embarrassment. "Chief will handle this. No charges, no report. Just a misunderstanding." He shot Karen a look that said she'd be wise to stay quiet. Amara nodded. "Good. I'll see you at the station Monday." She turned to me, her hand finding mine. "Let's go home, Marcus." As we walked away, Luna trotting beside us, I felt the weight of the moment settle in my chest. Amara was unshaken, but I could see the hurt in her eyes, the exhaustion of carrying a burden she shouldn't have to. Karen's call wasn't just a mistake, it was a reminder of the world we lived in. A world where assumptions could turn a sunny afternoon into a battle. Eleanor caught up to us before we reached the car. "I'm sorry about her," she said, her voice heavy. Karen's always been quick to judge, but today was shameful. "I hope you'll give Willow Creek a chance to be better." Amara smiled faintly. "I'm here to make it better, Eleanor. Starting with the truth." We drove home in silence, the lake fading in the rearview mirror. Amara's new role as chief was supposed to be a triumph, a step toward change in a town that needed it. But that day, it became a bitter reminder of how far we still had to go. Karen's call hadn't just targeted Amara, it had exposed a fracture in the community, one that no badge could fully mend. The sting of it lingered, sharp and unyielding, as we faced a future where every victory would come at a cost. ND